Hi guys, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode we learned a lot about Aloth, our squishy elf friend, and the other soul that is harboring in his body. That's Isilmir, who is a very sweary lady, and we all like her a lot, but we still have to try and figure out what she wants and why she chose Aloth, or why she awakened an Aloth. And all, all these things. But first we're gonna try and find the leaden key spy in the sanitarium.
Welcome!
Head Warden Ethelmore, have you learned anything of interest? I found records that Aso may be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Hetman Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. Oh, that sounds like he did get in trouble for some experiments earlier. Ooh. I am disappointed in Cadman. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. Whoops. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I for one am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Alright. Let's go talk to Azo in the patient ward. This is turning a bit Outlast, isn't it? Talking to the patients. Oh dear. I hope they don't attack me. It did say there were a couple of dangerous cases. I got a lot of files that said highly dangerous. Careful. But the warden does say I can go in because I'm awesome. Frail. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. Do you know where I might find Azo? Why are you in here? Let's start with some small talk. Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. Those are very insensitive options. Number 1 is I'm listening, so that's the nice one. Number 2, I wouldn't worry about that. Number 3, when you blush, it brings out the color of your eyes. Oh, charm. 4, you can tell me I'm going crazy too. Aww. Will charming help with her? It's kind of cute that she blushed. You know what the hell. Her blush deepens and she ducks her head forward to bury her face deeper beneath her hair. Oh, these last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy, took her before she was ever mine. I may do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Ondra's gift, got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noblewoman comes in, wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing. A shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it and it reminded me of something I had. What they call an awakening. I remembered being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me. Men doting over me. Me! The best food, the most beautiful home. All the things you'd never dare to dream of. They were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here, It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. Seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me, but I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? The options are, let's talk about something else, which is the standard option. 2, maybe you'll get there again one day, if not in this life, then in another. 3, maybe the gods took offense to your overindulgence. 4, nobody deserves to go through what you've been through. Or 5, you had it right before, there's nothing to do but live with it. I'm thinking maybe you'll get there again one day, if not in this life, then in another. The strange part is, I think even the best wouldn't be good enough for me anymore. I think it must have gotten to that point when I was that noble lady. Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batiksa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Outlast, that's what I'm talking about. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose. Nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always was a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor, just Master Azo. You might ask him, he's very sympathetic. You know where I might find Master Azo? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. What do you know about him? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients, look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What have they done? What happened? Freyal's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Durwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogswash. Even if he was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Well, not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. That's a machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Ondra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Anyway, Master Azo has scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then, the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Oh boy, that does not sound good. Hello, flesh construct. Can I walk past the flesh construct? Are they gonna attack me? No, speak. Okay. Then let's not speak. Keep your distance. Wichts in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got close. Okay.
I'll take a peek.
Oh, I should be in fast mode, shouldn't I? Yes. Anything over here? No, nothing. Okay. The music here is like very threatening. Unnamed patients. Milk. Good. Food. Unnamed patients. So technically the lab has to be... oh, there it is. How do I get there? Oh, probably through that door here. But first, let's look around a bit more. The crooked boards show deep gouge marks. They're spaced like folk... oh, or elven fingernails. Okay. That must be the door to the north ward, I guess. These flesh constructy things are very weird. Very weird. Terribly weird and kind of making me a little uncomfortable. Weird things are happening. Can we go in there? Can we see what's in there? There's nothing in there. That's a patient's room. This is terrifying. Hello. I've been hearing screams in the night.
There's
probably
something you don't see every
from
day.
the North Ward. What are you fidgeting about? The children they keep down here. Pure evil in their eyes. Oh boy, oh boy. This place is a little unsettling. There's nothing in there. Hello, you. They said I can't leave yet. Okay, then you should probably stay. More empty rooms. What's in here? Nothing. And in here's also nothing. And what's in here? I hear whispers. Yes, that's the other door. Okay, then that is the lab. So, let's have a look. Let's have a save, and let's have a look. I don't see
I
us.
see where you're going with that.
I can afford to
There.
use one lock.
What did I tell you?
The copper wires and conduits are shiny. The device is warm to the touch. Something churns and bubbles in this tank. Oh, that must be him. Yeah.
Consider it done. There. What did I tell you?
Ooh. Blade Golem. That might be something for someone. Copper wires, same. Is that also bubbling and churning? Yeah. Alright, then let's have a chat with Captain Aso. A round face, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
His voice is very aggressive. So the options are, Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Second, I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? I'd like access to the North Ward. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. I'm not looking for an expert on awakenings. We've talked to our expert on awakenings. I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? Asa's nostrils flare and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. One of the others put you up to this, Oldma, that smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. We'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anyone since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animenses all follow the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Retzeris. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Palegina says, Animancers must push the boundaries of knowledge, but you must be careful. Also, even Defiance Bay isn't as safe for research as it once was. That is true. My options are you toy with things beyond our comprehension, it's dangerous and foolish. 2, it seems to me we're still in the dark. 3, surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives. 4, you're right about that much. There are certain questions that have to be asked. 5, I have no interest in arguing about this.
Like so many who stand idly by while a nation slowly collapses into the dust. Apathy and ignorance are the true curse that dooms the dear wood.
I said I don't want to discuss it.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
He's probably right. Have you tried to experiment on any other subjects? I have. Yes. No point in lying about it now that Ethelmore's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. Number 1, I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them. Number 2, so you can coerce them into your experiments. Freyl told me everything. Or 3, perception, which is probably what I'm going to do. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the head warden. Number 4, I've been given permission to conduct my investigation down here. You'd best cooperate. Now let's do the perceptive thing.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
It's what I do. I come from a very meddlesome family. We like to meddle. I like to meddle. Let me meddle. He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger. Wow. I'm sorry if I just blanked out. I was visualizing that, like a growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Bye-bye! That was very
You'll never know I'm
interesting.
here.
That was a very interesting conversation. So, where did I go? Where was it? It was somewhere over there. There. That must be it. Quick save! Oh boy. Is this my face? Tell me. Okay, that's the faceless guy. Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocence must drown. Your people are kind of making me a little unsettled. Graham. This man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you've heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Aloth makes a noise of disgust. Those animances did this to him. You can see what comes of their meddling. Now my options are, number 1, Azo ran experiments on you against your will, didn't he? 2, Frail said you were being treated by Catman Azo. 3, there are things I need to know from you. I'm going to learn them whether or not you can speak. 4, Perception, you're afraid. Do certain visitors make you afraid? Let's do that. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of the cell. And as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gorged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Yes. You project out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depth. You're in your cell, a key turns, the door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. That's awesome. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. Oh, that does not sound like informed consent to an experiment. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantle his work, and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob, and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed up by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Continue searching. Another night. Heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being, just outside, but facing left, facing the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away and leaves. That is interesting. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. Speak to the patient at the end of the hall. That sounds like a very creepy kid. I'm not entirely sure if I want to talk to that kid.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets.
No, that is true, not at all. This is also not really what I expected.
Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
My options are, they've made great advances here. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Or, these animances are as mad as their patients. Or, these are lunatics and rascals. At least here they serve some purpose. 4, maybe it is. How would you know? I doubt the wealthier citizens have the same experience. What were you expecting? I don't like any of these. What were you expecting? Kana winces. I have seen the sick and the mad exiled, or else treated like contagious vermin. But I cannot believe that this is the kindest alternative. I agree. But If all were treated like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here and are cured of their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. This is controversial. Here's the source of all that knowledge you were so giddy about. Aye! That seems like a bit of a mean response, but I was kind of tempted to do that. Yes, let's go with the mean option. Kana grimaced. It is one thing to be told as much, another to see it yourself. Let's be on our way. This blaze gnaws at my soul. I think it's ominous that this boy at the end of the hall has a room all for himself, that big, so isolated. This is bad. This is real bad. Osgrim. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of a cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. I think that kid switched souls with one of those fleshy people. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. We are diving into the soul. You close your eyes and edge forward towards the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you, collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You're rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors and unheeded by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. This is what went wrong with Aso's experiment, isn't it? Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as the crystal globe fills with a radiance mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes stark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold!" he says, but there's obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes toward you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again, and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function, and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search for another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You're pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked back suddenly, back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from the borrowed husk. A watcher. I like my options. My options are: you made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. 2, I believe we share a common past. I'm just looking for some answers. No, he seems like a bad man. 3, not just a watcher. Someone who'll break those frail little legs of yours if you don't do exactly what I tell you. I'm kind of tempted to do that, because that was something that Darian would do. That's a kind of cool response. I like it. Let's go. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems, for that moment, that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look, your hunger. You hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Sheesh! Ah! Ah! Oh god, they're all gonna attack me, aren't they? Oh god. Fuck. Fuck! Holy shit. Oh shit. Okay, let's go. Let's all attack. Beep beep. Ah! Everyone's attacking me! Why? What have I done to you people? Nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. Alof, do your thing. That's the one I want, isn't it? Oh my god, oh my god. When did they kill my bear? Shite. Aloth. Do some magic again. Magic! On that one. Yeah, that looks good. And you... Oh no! No, I hate it when they all move. When did Pelagina die? Shit! I need to pay more attention to my squishier companions. It is okay. Don't have to worry about it. Nah, it has got that one. When did Darian die? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Can we all just attack? Yes! Aloth! And Aloth is dead. Well, this is working out great. I'm waiting for Kana to get into the 4th chant so that we can do the wyvern thing. Ah! I hope this works. Please survive, Kana.
Following your lead.
Oh no! Oh no! Come on! Shit. Too late. What? Do I have to do the entire conversation again if this fails? Probably. It did. It did. It did. It did. You can do this, buddy. I believe in you. It's just 2 left. You can do it. Oh no, there's 3 left. Shit. Is that even the one that I want? Yes, regeneration. Shite. We're all gonna die. Nope, I'm not gonna make it. I am not gonna make it. I'm dying. Why? Why isn't he taking his potion? What does that one do? I don't need... And... Oh, we might actually do this after all. Or not. Or not. Or yes. Oh, please! Oh, no. Oh, no. That was beginner's luck right now. Shit!
Alright then.
This does not sound good. This sounds like this whole place is going to hell. I'm gonna camp. Get everyone, you know, recovered and happy and healthy. I'm not gonna do the level up now. I'm gonna do that off camera because... Oh, no, not just the everyone. I'm coming, you guys!
You'll never know I'm here.
Faster. Faster, faster! Yikes. So everything is evil now. Great. I need everyone to come in here. Everyone! And help fight the thingy things. Because otherwise Pelagina's gonna die. Again.
What? I'll let Margaret.
Oh, now you have force chance. Great. Now that I don't need it anymore.
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
Sure.
The screams have stopped. Oi, oi, oi! What do you guys want?
I'll teach you a lesson.
I mean, he said they were in there. I just didn't think
I'll teach you a
anything.
lesson.
Okay. I guess everything got out. Like, literally everything. Oh! Ooh! Ooh!
I'll teach you a lesson.
And that's how it's done.
Did it. Do I have to fight my way through the entire thing, or... Also... What have you done? You've been experimenting on patients against their wills, mangling their souls. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. How could you possibly... Look, it had to be done. Ethelmore and the others, they took everything from me. Everything. When I was this close. I had to know. I had to know where I failed and why. Imagine the value if I'd succeeded. I had something that could make all those hollow infants into something like a real person. And with a few more patrons and a few years' research, who knows? No one has come that close with the legacy. It's why I have to continue. Why I have to risk everything. Working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Ethelmore for me. Tell him you've cleared me of all suspicion. We'll see.
I trust that you'll do what's right for Deerwood. Don't hold everyone accountable for my mistakes.
Aloth shakes his head, scowling. The same fools responsible for the cruel salvation thought they'd solve the problem too. A few years of study in a research lab doesn't give someone the moral authority to tinker with souls. Yes, Aloth, you're right. I probably should not have made
Quiet as a calm
this
sea,
conversation
which is
not very quiet.
very.
So, where exactly are we going? Are we fighting literally everything? Ooh, hello. Well, we're fighting that guy. Why is the dare not in there? He should be in there.
I'll teach you a lesson.
Oh, Adair, you're being so useless right now. You adorable, useless puppy. Luckily, this I like. Snap. I still don't know where I'm trying to go. Am I trying to go in here? Am I trying to leave? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Ah, she's not sickened anymore. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Ooh. No, I'm definitely not going here. am I just randomly killing everything that moves because it might be Osric? That was his name, wasn't it? Hello.
Show him how it's done!
Like, could anyone be Osric, or is it just the flesh constructs? I mean, I think it could be anyone. I might have to check my journal in a second because I have no idea.
And that's how it's done.
I'm just going around there killing everyone that moves, or what? Let's see. This does not help me. Okay, no, we're still hunting the guy. We still hunt the guy. We don't know where he is. Where is he? Where are you, Osgrim? Did he leave? He left, didn't he? That's why there's still people screaming! Is he in here? No. Is he in here? No. Oh god, he's killing everyone, isn't he? Okay. Head warden must be to— ooh. Was that a fleshy person? I'm getting out of here! Okay, everyone's running. Run! Run like crazy! What's happening? He's gone, isn't he? Did you people... Oh, Head Warden Ethelmore. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions! I had things under control until I killed the Leaden Key spy, at which point he possessed a flesh construct and ran. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Osgrim, was working for the Leaden Key only without knowing it. As I was being influenced by a patient, but the patient really wasn't himself at the time. Yeah, let's go with the first one. You finish your explanation and Ethelmore breaks in silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. They probably are. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I'm grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Arthur? What part did his experience play in this catastrophe? My options are, Arthur was only trying to help the patients. The Leaden Key took advantage of him. Or the Leaden Key would have found a way to interfere with his sanitarium even without Arthur, which is probably true. And 3, if I hadn't come along, Arthur's experiment would have eventually resulted in another scandal. No, I think it's more the second. Your half answer suggests a bias, but it also suggests it's as close to the truth as I'll get from you. Catman will remain here, but he will be monitored, and under no circumstances will he have access to any equipment. Sorry, Catman. So, is it over? Was that it? It looks like that was it. That was weird. That was a weird anticlimactic ending to this quest. But I'm pretty sure the guy's soul just fluttered away and is somewhere out there now. Pretty sure that... Oh!
Good day
Hello.
to you.
Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hadrid House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. And Kana's like, and here I thought the locals were exaggerating about Dunrid Row. Seems like your name's come up in some important meetings. I hope nobody was shouting it at the time. How did you know where to find me? Tell me about Lady Webb. Where can I find Hadrid House? No, I know that. Tell me about Lady Webb first. Do you not know Lady Webb? She's... well, no one's seen her, exactly, in a long time, but she's the mistress of Dunrid Row. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. He pauses, eyeing passerby with suspicion. Quietly, he continues, she's supposed to be old. Older than anybody. And she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away and she's just a pile of bones, kept animated by dark magic. Xenon, the archivist, or whatever he is, the guy in the Black Emporium. She's still at it. Best anyone can tell. Learning things, keeping us safe, pulling the strings behind the throne too, it's said. Has a ring of ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country, before you go asking the gods for forgiveness, best you ask Lady Webb first. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Very well. Let's have a chat with Lady Webb. That sounds like fun. An older robed man has just poofed up in front of me. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tended, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
They lie!
They speak out of concern for you. Now tell me, is there something to their concerns?
I don't even know who the fuck you are! The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the Order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth thoughtfully. That's past me, isn't it?
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. Or my family has not taken my new faith well. They no longer speak to me. I have done something unforgivable. We were attacked on my last mission. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, what this is all about. But let's say I've done something unforgivable. The apparition exhales slowly and its lips press together, a sympathetic report in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
I see. And you would cast yourself out, is that it?
What I've done, no god would have me now.
If you believe that, then I have failed you as a teacher. There are many gods so that all people are looked after, no matter who they are or what they've done. The only ones who need fear anything are those who abandon their gods, thinking all is lost. But for those who beg help and forgiveness, the gods always provide.
Only for the deserving.
I will tell you the truth. There may be some among the gods who would see you punished. But after punishment comes absolution, redemption. Whatever stain there is upon your soul, the gods can wash it clean. but you must dedicate yourself to them in return. That is what makes one deserving. Will you return the faith they put in you?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. People are looking at me. People have started to stare. I have been acting weird. Alright, let's have a chat with the lady. I'm excited for Lady Webb, as long as she is not a spider. If she is a spider, I will be right out of there. I'll be out of there so fast, you can't even say web fast enough. Unless she's a nice spider. She could be a nice spider. Maybe. The Lady Webb will see you now. Is that her? This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age, a gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a kilt patterned after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Yeah. Kana leans in toward you. A meager trick, given Cad Noir's fame.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of.
Yes, oops, sorry about that.
What blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
There's someone I need to find. I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason.
So she knows stuff, huh?
You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
My options are, one of their members caused my soul to awaken, I need him to reverse it. Or I ran across a man in one of the ruins, it's important that I find him again. Or lie, I was hired to investigate them. Lie to Lady Webb, that's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna take the honest route, because she probably knows the truth anyways. One of their members caused my soul to awaken, I need him to reverse it. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The page is wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key.
Of course.
One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
Of course I seek the most dangerous man. How do you know it's him I seek?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about him then?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name.
It's a very
and
cool
there is
name.
no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The leaden key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism.
I like this mythology with these gods because it kind of reminds me of the Greek gods, because everyone kind of treats them like people. Like they're not just, wow, powerful deities that are somewhere out there, but they're actually people. I like that.
That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others.
Yeah, we've seen him do
if
that.
their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity.
He's going down.
He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
Oh, I think he'll find me quite interesting when I'm done with him. How do you know so much?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know about the leaden
Precious
key?
little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
I'm not entirely sure if you heard that, but there was a very loud noise just outside my window just now. I was like... Alright, what do you want from
Keep me informed. The leaden key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you.
I will.
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very
If
well.
you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
Awesome! There is something I can tell you about the Leaden Key's operations, is there?
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me. It is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it?
No.
Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep.
Oh, that is so very, very comforting. Thank you.
This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That is all. Other questions?
Yes.
Ooh. So, tell me about Dunwood Row. How did you come to be here? How old are you? Are you psychic? Is there a Lord Webb? Wink wonk. No, I don't want to know any of that right now.
Try your best not to die out there.
I will. Okay, so that was meeting Lady Webb. Interesting. Looks like we have an ally. I like it. And we have 2 more places that we know the Leaden Key is active, and that's Deerford in Summer Ruin, and the Tower in Heritage Hill. So I've got my work cut out for me, and I do believe that the next place I want to go is Heritage Hill and see what they were up to there. It's probably going to be quite intense, and there's probably going to be battling, and it is something that I will not do today, but in the next episode. If you enjoyed this quite exciting episode with lots of soul jumping and things attacking and screaming and running around, leave a comment and or a like, and maybe subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of Pillars of Eternity and the other games that I'm playing. Currently that's just The Walking Dead, but I might start uploading a bit of Fallout 4 soon too. Just kind of want to wait so that people don't get spoilers. And also because I kind of want to see where it goes. And yeah, any future games that might come up. So see you in the next episode of Pillars of Eternity, when we finally check out what's actually going on in Heritage Hill. Bye!